This video dives deep into one of the most controversial scenes in the series. One that many fans see as a contradiction by Master Toriyama. But is it really? I think there's more to it than most people realize. First, let's take a look at the context of this scene. Son Goku, cornered by Cell's energy attacks, decides to turn the tide with a clever strategy. He combines his instant transmission with a Kame-Hame-Ha, catching Cell off guard and seemingly dealing a fatal blow, disintegrating the upper half of his body, including his head. But then, Cell's legs rise and he regenerates. His power drops, but he survives. His explanation? He regenerated like Piccolo. But wait, should that be possible? We know Namekians can regenerate injuries, but only if they're not fatal. Losing a limb? Fine. Losing your head? Instant death. But Cell isn't just a Namekian. He also has Frieza's cells, and we've seen Frieza survive with half his body as long as he had enough energy. Still, surviving without a head is a whole different level. Nothing Frieza did on Namek justifies this. In Resurrection F, we see something that could explain it, but that movie came way later, so it doesn't count for this argument. So, at first glance, Cell's survival seems like an outright contradiction. But is it really? The hidden clue. What is Cell made of? Cell has DNA from Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo, and Frieza, but also from various insects. Toriyama says, animals, but let's be real, look at Cell's earlier forms. He's clearly based on insects. And here's the key. Insects don't have a centralized nervous system like humans. While we rely on a single brain to control everything, many insects have multiple, mini-brains, or ganglia, that distribute control throughout their bodies. So, if Cell's biology works the same way, that could explain how he survived. If his remaining ganglia initiated regeneration before he completely shut down, he wouldn't need his head to stay alive. So, does that mean the scene makes sense? Toriyama actually provided all the information needed to justify Cell's survival. It just wasn't executed as well as it could have been. Goku's reaction is logical. He assumes Cell is dead but gets suspicious when he senses that his remaining legs still have a lot of energy. But the other characters? Their reactions fall flat. While it makes sense that fighters who can sense energy wouldn't celebrate immediately, except Yamcha, who always jumps the gun, there should have been more of them reacting to what just happened. Let's compare it to the Android 18 vs Vegeta fight. We had a similar scene there, where the action was explained through the observers of the fight. Here's how that scene played out. At first, most of the Z fighters, Krillin, Tien, and Trunks, think Vegeta actually has a shot. Then, Piccolo corrects them, explaining that Vegeta is losing energy while 18 isn't. Once that message is clear, the fight shifts, proving Piccolo was right. This way of portraying it ensures that the audience grasps the complexity of what's happening. Now, back to the Cell scene. Here's how it plays out. Yamcha and Tien celebrate, assuming Cell is dead. But Trunks, Krillin, and the rest already seem unfazed, like nothing has changed. Goku realizes something is off. Cell still has too much energy. Krillin warns him that Cell isn't dead, shocking Goku, Tien, and Yamcha. The problem? Their focus is on how Cell regenerated rather than how he survived without a head. How this scene could have been improved. A better way to handle this scene would have been: Goku lands the attack, disintegrating Cell. Everyone celebrates. Goku notices Cell's lingering energy and gets suspicious. The other fighters pick up on this, realizing something is wrong. Cell's legs move, and he regenerates. Instead of a vague, "I regenerated like Piccolo," Cell could have hinted at his insect biology, explaining how he survived in the first place. Even if Toriyama didn't want to spell it out. He loved making readers connect the dots. The issue is that the characters' reactions don't match what the audience is experiencing. They treat an incomplete answer as if it's satisfying, which makes the scene feel off. So, to wrap things up, when it comes to Cell surviving the attack, I don't think this was a mistake on Toriyama's part. At least, not when he first wrote it. But over the years, he admitted to being forgetful, so I wouldn't be surprised if he later forgot these details. That said, because of the way he wrote the scene, it just doesn't feel the way it should have. And that's what makes so many fans see it as a contradiction, even though the explanation is actually there. In the grand scheme, this scene highlights how tricky it is to balance layered storytelling. When a key detail isn't conveyed properly, what could have been a clever mystery ends up looking like a silly contradiction. Unlike the power level inconsistencies, which were completely messed up by bad guidebooks and led to widespread fan misconceptions, this scene actually stands out as a rare case, at least in the Android saga, where Toriyama's execution itself fell a bit short. I hope you enjoyed this video. This was just a preview of my full analysis of the Cell fight, which I'll be releasing soon. So stay tuned for more insights. See you in the next one.